Yeah, y'all, this shit's insane. Um, yeah, Anthony Joshua, he comes out, he was admitting to the whole cheating thing that's been going on with what I'm saying, Tyson Fury. It's nothing new. In boxing, they've been doing this since the sport began. I can only imagine how it started and the premises that it was built upon. It's so deep, when you look into the truth of things. And if you look at the history of boxing and where it came from, I should do this myself, but I'm just giving y'all some spiritual insight on how I feel, intuition style, deep from my energy. I feel like it was based on some racist ass shit. And I guarantee if I look this shit up, I could find some shit that proves that how the fighting started, and how they really were using certain fighters and making money off of them eventually. Like I bet that's how it was. I think maybe this idea was subliminally embedded in my mind from a movie I watched a while ago. I remember watching a movie where this fighter had bought his way to freedom in like Canada or something. But nonetheless, it was a really cool movie. It's probably one of my favorite movies because they don't make movies like that often anymore. They had those deep meanings behind them. But as y'all can see, there's a lot of shit going on in boxing that's just question mark, and a lot of it's some normal ass shit, unorganized ass shit. You know, like with the promoters, Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, and various other ones. There's a lot of work that could be done in boxing. Especially with this whole Wilder versus Fury thing. This thing got so out of hand. We were all hoping it was kind of like the government. Was hoping somebody would do something that was reasonable or sensible, right? Yeah, well, boxing, we're hoping somebody would have stepped in and did something sensible or reasonable and said, you know what, you guys, you're gonna get together and you're gonna fight. This is the date. Like, who the hell didn't step in and do that? You know what I'm saying? That's what blows my mind, y'all. So, I tell y'all. But yeah, I really want to see Wilder fight. When we get to see Wilder fight next, that's gonna be what's popping. Deontay Wilder, uh, dude's an Olympian athlete. I mean, think about that. I mean, this is just talk from MCTV, but what does it take to be an Olympist? I mean, you got to be top tier, top of your game, you know what I'm saying, mentally, physically, and spiritually. You're someone who pushes yourself to the absolute limit and doesn't quit. Think about people who do triathlons and things like that or long distance running. Have you ever done cross country? I mean, I was in cross country. I mean, that shit was intense. Running, I mean, that's not even long distance. That's like medium distance. That's nothing. I mean, you guys should really be reflecting on your health, especially those who spend all day sitting on a chair commenting on my videos, saying negative things about me. I mean, I guarantee you can barely run a mile. And those of you who can, pat yourself on the back. You know what I'm saying? Running is no joke. So that's my whole point about this. Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber, bronze medalist in the Olympics, um, impressive. What he's done in the ring is even more impressive. So shout out to Deontay Wilder for his accomplishments. I mean, his knockout ratio is pretty damn insane. Um, yeah, whoever Deontay Wilder fights next, I feel really sad for. Tyson Fury just had to duck his way out of this situation. And I don't really blame him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do blame him. I take that shit back. I blame Tyson Fury all the way for this bullshit. I'm really glad y'all got to see, but let's get back into Anthony Joshua. I mean, Anthony Joshua is very privy to all of this. He knows all of Tyson Fury's tactics. He knows every single thing you can do to manipulate that glove. AJ is not, I guess, a sitting duck per se. He's not just a hunk of meat. He surely is a specimen. You know what I'm saying? I think they said he was in like bodybuilding or something like that, but you can't just jump from bodybuilding. Like I guess I could see like how like a bodybuilder would have rage and aggression and a drive for repetition and things like that. I could see how that could flow into combat sports. A lot of strength and training and conditioning involved with that and expression, physical expression, outletting. Form and art. I mean, it gets deeper than all of that. You got to break all of that down. So. But in a sense, I think it's really cool that it's not cool, but I think I've accepted the fact that Deontay Wilder's going to move on. And it's not because of him. It's because of the racism that existed inside of the institution. that determine this type of outcome and fate. But ironically, this isn't going to destroy Wilder. I think it's really going to actually backfire on Tyson Fury more than it is Wilder. See, Wilder's going to stand the test of time. His ratio, his record, and who he is says all of that. He's not a fiend. He's not a liar. He's not a coward. He's not a cheater. He doesn't run. He faces his opponents. He knocks them out. He knocks them out. He knocked out Tyson Fury in the first fight. I'm telling you, LeBron's bomber.